So I grew up in the west coast of Scotland, a small little village called Rue.
Rue.
Very small, great community village, mostly a football village. We had a few different sports. Golf was not one of them.
Oh, wow.
Golf didn't come till later in life, 16 years old. So yeah, it wasn't part of my childhood at all. We would at the odd time go to the football park to hit golf balls.
Oh, wow.
But
amazing.
never ever to the golf course.
And were you quite a friendly kid? I can imagine
Yeah.
growing up from Scotland, you could have some rough neighbourhoods growing up, and so I'm sure that toughened you up.
Truthfully, west of Scotland, I mean, we didn't have a rough upbringing per se, but you had to kind of be streetwise enough to know where the trouble was.
Yeah.
I was the youngest of a big group of friends, so when it was all got a little rough and tumble, to be a bit younger, you had to be a little bit tougher. So like I loved that side of it.
Amazing.
I loved I used to love boxing, and we used to actually
Really?
make a boxing ring in our house, invite friends
And you used
over.
to box?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah, and used to invite friends into the house, give them the
sparring
gloves, and
sessions.
we'd go to town.
That's awesome. What's your favourite memory from your childhood?
I think people know Scotland for terrible weather, a lot of rain. But honestly, growing up, we had long, sunny summers. So the summers felt like they lasted forever.
And it went till like 8, 9 p.m.
Yeah, and when the school season finished, so it would kind of go in sequences of, so school would finish, Wimbledon would start. So everyone would get the tennis rackets out.
Yeah.
Then Wimbledon would be finished, and then the Open
Open.
Championship would start. So everyone would grab a 7-iron and go and do golf. So it kind of went in that cycle. So our summers were just full of sports and getting into trouble.
Amazing.
was
And
the
do you have
best.
any siblings, parents?
Older brother. Yeah, older brother.
yeah.
He was, growing up, we were super competitive. It actually affected our relationship. We didn't have a
Really?
great relationship growing up. We were never very close.
And now?
Unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable. Best
And
friends.
what's the age gap?
A year and 10 months.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, a year
so
and 10
quite
months.
close together, but you never had that closeness.
We never really did because, to be honest, I was so competitive. He was older, so therefore he was better. So
wow.
he was always the hare that I was trying to chase in
Okay.
everything. Golf, football, we done badminton together. So he would probably play it first, and then
Yeah.
I would get to it. But I'd be so determined to
to
play.
get to his level,
yeah.
beat him.
And he and I are totally different. So, I'm shorter, have grown to be 5'9.5". He's
Yeah.
like 6'4".
Oh, wow.
So he's we're chalk and
So is
cheese.
your mum or dad taller?
No, he got it from my mum's side of the family. It's something that's been one of the best parts of my life. This part of my life is how close we've become.
Amazing. Where's your brother now? Is he in Scotland?
Yeah,
Is he in...
yeah. Everyone is where I left them.
Oh, wow.
Right. So that's
in
why
Rue.
in Rue, in Tracy's family in Helensburgh. So that was one of the most difficult things about leaving. But I think that's the thing. Everyone's got to do what their calling is. Mine was never to stay in Rue.
Yeah.
I used to, when I was really, really young, my mum and dad remind me of this all the time. I used to talk about my family in Australia and my family in America. I never had family in Australia and America.
Oh, wow.
But I used to talk about them as if I had them and
Oh,
I was
wow.
going to travel one day.
That's
And
amazing.
I think it goes back to my grandfather spent a lot of time in Australia. So, and he would, every night after dinner, he would walk down with his dog, grab me, and we would go for like a 45-minute with the dog, and he'd tell me stories.
Wow.
So he'd tell me stories of Australia, all of
Amazing.
his travels. So I think that probably, inspired the traveller in me to see the world beyond
ever been to
Scotland.
Australia?
No, not yet, but it's right up there in the list. Go out to play the sandbelt courses
Amazing.
and see a little bit of that. Tracy's done it, but we've not done it yet.
So Tracy, a lot of people probably don't know, your lovely wife, and
Yep.
your life would not be where it is today if it wasn't for Tracy. So how'd you guys meet?
Yeah. So we knew of each other, right? So,
Right.
people
Since
used
you
to
were
talk
little
about,
kids?
people used, maybe like
Teenagers?
14, 15.
Okay.
People would always talk about, Tracy Monday.
You'd
And,
be a good match, or?
no, just
Okay.
just talk about like how
Okay.
nice she was,
Yeah.
like pretty, all this stuff, like really, really nice. As it turns out, and I didn't know this at the time, but Tracy's dad and my dad grew up together. So they were apprentice electricians together from
Amazing.
16, 17 years old.
Wow.
And even to this day, what will it be? Close to 50 years later,
Wow.
they play golf together every Saturday.
Wow, that's special. That's really special.
They're best buddies, which is great. Trace and I, people don't believe that when we're both 40, I'm 41, she's 40, they don't believe we've been together for 24 years.
That's amazing.
More than half our life. We've done this journey together, 2 little Canadians together.
Amazing.
Which is really cool. And she has her own story that she was a junior partner in a law firm.
Wow.
And she gave all that up for me to follow my dream.
Wow.
So she was the one who really gave up the sacrifice.
Wow.
Like I was on that path anyway. she was the one that had to make the peace that this was what I was going to do.
Was that quite an easy decision for her, or quite hard?
Don't think it was that easy. You know, obviously she had her own friends and her own sort of family. She was a qualified umpire in netball at national level.
Wow.
So she was incredible at that. Super smart, really. I mean, you've met her a few times on FaceTime. She's so friendly. So I'm a little bit more cerebral, right? I'm okay with not having the biggest friend group. I just see a path and want to go in that path.
Let me ask you a deeper question. What's your purpose in life? What's Ian Fraser's why?
I think, even just going back to when I first started golf, the thing that gave me the most sort of reward or sort of, I get the most enjoyment out of was helping people.
Amazing.
So when I was growing up, I actually thought I was going to be a school teacher.
Oh, amazing.
For young, I wanted to teach at primary level, which is kind of like from age 5 to 12.
Have you ever taught part-time or?
Yeah, I taught at, I've done internships, then obviously in golf camps. So I ran golf camps at Stirling University for younger junior golfers. I've just always loved kids. And, I really thought that was going to be my purpose and passion.
I mean, your face changes and it lights up when I see you talking to Noah and Harper.
Yeah.
It fills you with so much love and joy.
It does.
So
it does.
How has kids changed your perspective in life and how you approach things? Or is your priority shifted? Or
Without a doubt. And we've chatted because our kids are pretty much the same age. But, I think what it comes down to is it's the passing of the baton. It's not about us anymore. It's or selfishly about us. Our role is now to provide for them, set up that platform, set up that life for them. And that's a big part of coming and exploring, doing things like this. This is potentially an option for them one day that they may live out here. They've got 2 passports, so we've given them that opportunity with UK and Canada. Who knows where the other passports they would have. I think just by leading by the example of, they'll know that Dad travelled a lot for work. That's a good thing to do, to see the world. I want them to have that, not feel, sort of boxed in ever in life.
No, for sure. Okay, so, let's talk a bit about how we met. I obviously watched a lot of your videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
As a Hong Kong golfer, me and my friends had nowhere to go for a fitting, and I just thought, why don't we reach out to Ian? So, do you still remember that day where I DM'd you on Instagram?
Yeah, I do. And I would honestly say, the world of social media it has lots of pitfalls and lots of things that I don't like about it. But that's one of the opportunities within social media, if you can handle it properly, is the ability for us to connect to people all around the world. So I absolutely do remember that day. And then we quickly jumped on a call. I remember sitting in my kitchen, having a call to you guys. And I have so many ideas. My mind never really stops racing. So I don't really always tell Tracy all the things I'm kind of talking about or, any potential opportunities until they're more real.
Yeah.
And I remember her saying, who have you got a call with tonight? Guys in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And it's always been my way. It's a bit like playing golf and you've got a flag hanging off the edge of the green. It's just a no-go pin. In life and business, I don't see those as a problem ever. So if there's an opportunity in Hong Kong, I'll take that pin on. No problem at all.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of what maybe has made a change in a positive way in our lives is I'm more than willing to take on some risk for a lot of reward on the other side.
Oh, yeah. And how has Hong Kong been so far? You've been here for, just over a week?
Yeah, I've been here 9 days. So, it's an incredible place. One thing I love about coming to places like this is the passion of the people from the place.
Yeah.
I feel that in Canada as well. No one's more proud of Canada than Canadians. No one's more proud of Hong Kong than the people who are natively, born here and grew up here. You're so passionate about everything. I asked you last night, where's your favorite place in the world? And you said Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Most people say out with that, like, oh no, I want to travel to Cape Town or Rio or wherever. But you guys were all pretty adamant that Hong Kong was your favorite place, which I loved.
The hikes, the sights, the sounds, the city.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So, are you going to force your kids to play golf? I know with a lot of parents, especially here in Hong Kong, they want their kids to get into golf. They want to get that university scholarship. There's a lot of pressure. It's always the mindset in Asia. It's like, school first, study first, and then, golf later. But one of our best golfers here in Hong Kong, his parents never put pressure on him to play golf. And he just enjoyed playing golf for fun. And he wasn't really good until after 18. So how would you approach that? Would you allow your kids to just enjoy it? If they want to play golf, they want to play golf?
100%. It has to come naturally. It has to be something that they gravitate towards themselves. If they're going to truly enjoy it, they have to have the desire themselves. You can't give someone desire. You know, you push them towards it, they'll push even harder on the way back.
Correct.
So I would never do that to them. I think naturally, because they know I spend time at the golf club, it's coming to them now. They're like, can I go with Dad to golf?
Yeah.
And that's coming a little bit more sort of naturally, which I'm really, really enjoying. This will probably be the first summer, you know, we go for riding the golf buggy around the course and we start doing all that stuff. We've been at our local club in Helensburgh where Tracy and I grew up. We take them on the putting green and we spend time. They go with Tracy's dad and my dad to do that, which is great. But no, we've never done that, and I believe that probably is the shortest route to leaving the game is when there's too much pressure to take it up in the first place.
For sure. I mean, me and my kids, we moved out to this area called Discovery Bay, just get away from all the hustle and bustle of the city. I just thought for my kids, as long as they learn how to learn, they learn how to have fun. They enjoy learning, they enjoy school, they enjoy whatever sport they want to do, whether it's tennis, badminton, golf. As long as they have fun,
100%.
I think just developing that social skills, the ability to grind and develop that grit, whatever they do, you know, I want to support them, and I think that's the way to raise kids.
100%.
Awesome.